Welcome. It is week 25 of Meat Sweats and Menopause, and I am Joe Gleason, the Midwestern man, and with me is my beautiful co-host, Kirsty the Brit Chick. Welcome to week 25.
Hello. How you doing?
Good. I can actually hear you, and it does. I feel like, for reasons unknown, some of our technical challenges. Cross my fingers, knock on wood, whatever we got to do here, seem to have been resolved, although I don't know how.
No, we don't know how or why. I have no idea what's going on, but we live to fight another day. So here we go.
I have submitted. So the platform we use is a server it's called StreamYard, and a lot of podcasters and people who do this sort of thing, you can do a lot with it, but I had no problem with it for weeks. I started running into problems, and then sent them a ticket last week before the show last week. They said, try these things. I did it. Didn't work. They followed up and said, hey, did you have any, it's all AI stuff too. So it's like, did you have any luck with that? I was like, no, it's still not working. No response. Nobody said anything. Sent another email. Hey, is there any issues? Nope. Haven't seen anything. Still have the issues. So anyway, long story short, I've sent like 4 tickets in. Nobody said anything, but today the shit's working. So I guess whatever. Here we are. So hello everyone. What's up, Robert? Hello. What's up, Ben? What's up, Dan? Good to see y'all. Thanks for joining in.
Hey,
Robert, do we have a Ginger update? Ginger had to go to the vet today. She wasn't feeling so good. She had some like mouth or oral kind of issues. So any updates there?
Yeah. That would be good to know. That's for sure. What's everybody doing? Who else do we have in here? I think there's someone else too. If you're here, just say who you are and where you're from, what you're doing. That'd be awesome.
And we think we can hear each other okay. We think things sound okay. Like everything sound like old school good, or as good as it ever did. Like everyone hearing us okay. Like just checking in on the comms.
Trying really hard not to interrupt each other, because we've noticed that when we do, that's when the sound goes weird when we talk over each other. So we're going to try really hard. So if we've got big pauses in between us speaking, that's why. But Rob says about Ginger, she got all her shots updated. They took blood work. They're going to have to remove a tooth or 2 in the back. Oh, bless her. You know where to take her, Robert. You know where they do a deal. Yeah, take it to Mexico.
Yeah, there's a good vet down in Mexico. So costs you about $200 instead of $1,500. So
totally.
Oh, thanks, Ben. Thanks for that.
Squeaky wheel got the grease. Who's the squeaky wheel?
Me. I was bitching left and right. I'm the squeaky wheel.
Okay. You're just the loud wheel.
That's gotta be like a squeaky mouse. Yeah. I guess it wouldn't be the first time I've heard that. So yeah. So
they will hear you coming.
How's everyone been? So here in the US, we had the 4th of July. We've had a lot of World Cup stuff going on. Good luck to Joe. I think he's talking about the interrupting.
Really? Yeah.
I'm a work in progress. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, so we had the World Cup. We had a lot of. I thought that Mexico-England game on Sunday was the best game so far of what I've seen. It was amazing.
And I actually missed it. I was so pissed. So if any of you saw our little post about the podcast tonight on Facebook, I got AI to do a picture of us with all of our favorite teams, because there's 4 teams, right? So obviously you with the US, both of us for Mexico, and then me for Canada and the UK. So those are our 4 teams, and 3 are out. So now it's down to the Brits.
I guess we all have to go back to the old school, or go to the other side of the pond and hope for the best, right? So, and who do you guys all root for? Like, who are your favorite teams that are still left? Because USA, man, they did not look good. Robert and Dan were over the other night for the USA Belgium game, and I didn't like expect them to win. I was kind of hoping they'd win, but I certainly didn't think they would look as shitty as they did. That was really disappointing.
Yeah, I didn't actually see either of those games, unfortunately. But I'm definitely going to go see the England one on Saturday. I mean, honestly really don't give a shit about football at all, or soccer, as you guys say. But I guess when it's like the World Cup of anything, you kind of start taking a patriotic interest. I mean, it's all kind of like, I don't know. You know how we are, conspiracy theorists. It's all louche. It's all like, let's control everybody. But anyway, just for the fun, I will be going to the British pub on Saturday with my British friend, to support England, to see what happens. And hey, if nothing happens, who cares? But I think that's going to be a really tough game. I know England-Mexico was spicy. But England and Finland, that's going to be interesting for sure, because people really, on both sides, really, really, really want to win this. So it might end up just being like a 0-0 dud, because everyone's just trying so hard. I think England always tend to, in any sport that we play, and same with Calgary actually as well, always perform better when we're the underdogs. That's always been a theme for both Calgary and England. But yeah, once they're in a place where they feel like they're really going to do it, we always kind of like tank. So I don't know, who knows? Yes.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, why don't you how about we do this to promote the art that you did? Let's just bring that in. This is hilarious. We don't need to get into a whole AI conversation unless you guys want to. But this is hilarious, because you got your England and Calgary over there on the left, and then the Mexico and Team USA kind of hybrid there with me, and then good old US of A. I love the bald eagle number one finger. Like we should get those made up, and could have been thinking ahead and stole those.
It's funny because that picture of you in the USA shirt like really looks like you. And then you look so angry in the Mexican one. Like, that doesn't look like you at all. You look like an angry bird with those eyebrows. But it's interesting what AI did, because the photo I gave AI to do that, you were wearing glasses, but they've taken them off for Mexico. And
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that I wasn't wearing glasses in my Mexico iteration there. So interesting.
I know. And I feel like I look like an old Britney Spears. I don't think that looks like me at all.
Oh, there you go. Are you crazy Britney, or are you the young, like up and coming Britney?
Definitely head shaved, batshit crazy Britney's got to be.
Dancing with knives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Maybe I need to have Trump talk to FIFA and see if we can't get some of these things undone. Was that a thing at all up in Canada about how Trump had that card, the player on the team had gotten a red card, so he was supposed to be suspended. Yeah. It's kind of a top. So you know how everything has become political these days, right? So one side was saying like, "Oh, that's so cool, Trump got it done," and then the other side's like, "It's kind of crazy how like he's spending time dealing with World Cup issues when there's a war going on and all these other things." So was that newsworthy up in Canada, or was it just not anything?
No, I think it was. I mean, I don't watch the news. The only news I see is like what's streaming through my social media posts or whatever. So I don't know. I don't really know. It's I can't even comment on it. Don't know. I didn't
gotcha. Really you're still up in the Great White North. For those that may not know, Kirsty's still up in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Living on the farm.
I'm like really tiny, so now I'm going to come back a bit. There we go.
Listen, we just got our sound and stuff dialed in. Let's not poke any bears here, okay?
Yeah, it's pretty warm up here for you, I guess. Yeah. It's I mean, it's not like 114 where you are, but it's about 75, and it's weirdly humid. Calgary's never humid. It's super dry normally. Like even drier than Arizona, believe it or not. But it's kind of really hot and cloggy, and we're not blessed with air conditioning, so it's testy.
It's what?
Not testes, testy. I don't know what you want. It's just kind of whew, I'm always hot. I'm always hot anyway. That's the whole menopause, right? But yeah,
Right.
not my meat
Meat
sweats.
sweats in menopause. Yeah.
You.
Shameless promotion, right?
All right.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, so it's been fun. Had the guys over for just kind of an impromptu for watch back to back of the game. So watched over the weekend more World Cup soccer or football than I had any of the tournament up till now. So we had a very busy weekend. Robert smoked a pork butt, so we got to eat some ass. Or shoulder, I guess technically is what it is.
Is that how he smoked it?
Yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing. Had some fun fireworks. Had the whole tribe there. Not the whole tribe. Ben and Jackie weren't able to make it. You weren't there, so we had a lot of the tribe there, I should say. But yeah, and it was a successful Moronis party. The cops did in fact show up, but Dan handled it. So
did you invite them in?
We should. What's that?
Did you invite them in?
I believe they were invited in, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't go out as I was enjoying my ice cold frosty beverage. So yeah. So we should talk about neighbor. What kind of neighbor are you? Are you a Karen that calls the cops? Or are you the loud one that gets the cops called on them? That should be the topic of our discussion tonight. Right?
Yeah, you can just say in the comments if you're a Karen or what's the opposite of Karen?
I don't know. Yeah, what would be? Well, I can answer that. I'm not the Karen. I don't think I've never called the cops on neighbors. I would just go over to their door and knock on the door and say, "Hey, first and foremost, I wouldn't say anything. I would just suck it up for a night."
4th of July. What do you expect? Like, good Lord.
And not just any 4th of July. It's the 250th birthday of the United States, and so.
Right. And what time was this?
I don't know, probably 10 or 11 and 10 o'clock at night. It wasn't not even that like. Not even that like. Yeah.
Really, I think that's fair. I mean, if it's like still going on at 2 a.m, I'd start to get pissed off. If it was a school night, which it kind of was. Was it Saturday or Sunday?
No, it was Saturday night. Nobody had to work the next day unless you. Well, I shouldn't say nobody, but as a general rule, like sort of normal. Not normal. I don't want to make it sound like that, but as a general rule, traditional like 9 to 5 type jobs or off. So, and it was a Sunday the next day. So,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like abusing animal. I'm not talking about like, a Karen in the sense of like someone's in harm's way or something's like, somebody's in danger. I'm not talking about that. Like that's a whole different thing. I'm talking about someone who's, maybe having a party or, a get together or whatever you want to call it, or even a national holiday. I normally tend to just sort of like, just let those things go. Yeah. Okay. Dan saying it was like 10:30.
Yeah.
And the thing with, and I'm going to guess this is kind of everywhere, but the thing about surprise, like anyone calls the cops have to respond and go show up. So there was like, once the Karen made the phone call, it was just a matter of time before. But ironically, there were probably 3 or 4 houses like just within the immediate neighborhood that were also doing fireworks. And it wasn't anything crazy. It's not like we had like, like it's totally professional. They were nice. I mean, you might be able to find them at like, I don't know, a Sam's Club kind of thing, basically. And so maybe some additional, but I'm just saying, like hypothetically speaking, don't know anything about that. I don't have any recordings.
I just think it's stupid on a big national holiday like that. I mean, just get over yourself. It's just ridiculous. If you're doing it every friggin' weekend and it's going on till midnight and it's just, or it's on a school night, yeah, of course, like that's just ridiculous. But it's not. It's like the 250th anniversary, 4th of July. Yeah, get over it. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I had a neighbor a few years back that, as you know, my birthday's Halloween, and probably a lot of the people that are listening, my birthday's Halloween. I had a Halloween party. I went over because they had called the cops a couple years in a row. So I went over and spoke to them face to face and said, "Listen, we're gonna have a good time. It's my birthday. It's Halloween. All this stuff. You can walk right in my backyard, come to the door. Like if we don't answer, like if the door's open, just come on in because we're gonna be here. So like you're more than welcome. And been neighbors with them for years at that point. So I kind of would say hi and kind of wave. The husband was cool. The wife was a pistol. She was the Karen, and she wanted nothing to do with like being neighborly and just saying, "Hey, do you guys mind just turning that down a little bit? I'm trying to sleep, or I got to get up in the morning, or whatever it might have been." No, she just enjoyed calling the cops. So I don't know. I don't. It's kind of that whole rule follower thing that we kind of talked about a few minutes ago.
We're going back into the HOA territory, aren't we?
Yeah, it was the HOA chat. It was kind of those people like
that lifted everybody up. Everybody's got an HOA story, right?
Dan's pushing back in my comments about being just Sam's Club fireworks, I think, but
you weren't buying those leaves for your groceries, yeah, right?
I don't even know who bought them. I don't think anyone knows. I think it's all just it's shrouded in mystery.
I don't know anything at all, ever, never
see nothing. I don't know nothing. All right. Oh man. Exactly. So
just go ahead.
Yeah, all good, Robert. Just listen in the background, bro. We got your back. So carry on. What is it? It's chicken parmesan, I believe, is on the menu tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So yes.
D's in the room.
What's up, D?
HOA. Oh yeah. Let's hear some of your HOA stories.
D lives in Y a good chunk of the time, and so you're probably kind of free to do as you please there, no? Or do you have some sort of HOA?
West. But when she's back in Arizona, I won't say where. Very close.
Why is in Arizona, babe?
No, I'm sorry, not Arizona. Surprise is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
I won't say exactly where. But I can imagine that HOA there. Good Lord. In fact, I see some of it.
Oh, the one over here at Happy Trails?
Oh, no, yeah, I'm trying not to mention it.
Oh, where she lived? Oh, sorry. Is that a secret? It's a huge community. Sorry if I'm revealing any secret truths or anything. I've been trying to be nebulous, right? So
reveal our neighborhood and our HOA as well, because they're wankers.
Oh, Bell West Ranch. They are wankers. I hope the whole friggin' council's watching right now, because I got a message for you.
Right.
Get a life.
I saw actually. I'm in the surprise, whatever it is, surprise neighborhood Facebook group or whatever it is, and there's been a lot about it lately. And they weren't saying like which community it was, but somebody was saying that they were cleaning. What were they doing? Like cleaning the windows or cleaning something on the front of their house with like a mop and a bucket, and so they literally left it outside while they ran inside to go get something else and came back and then finished what they were doing and then, put it all away. And in that 10 minutes that they'd gone in the house and come back out, some fucking HOA person had come past, took a photo of the mop and bucket outside their house and sent them the photo to fine them and tell them that they can't have stuff like that left outside the house. And then everybody started jumping on it, saying that that's happened to them as well, and all that. I'm like, what's wrong with people?
And everyone. So here's the irony. Everyone goes. So we just had the 4th of July, right? What does the 4th of July celebrate? It celebrates us becoming a country and our freedom. Well, how much freedom do you have if you can't leave a fucking bucket of water out in your front yard before somebody's taking a picture? Right? It's like. And are people cool just living in a surveillance state where everything is like everything is surveilled, like everyone's got Ring doorbells and all this stuff, right? So
they were saying that they weren't allowed to have those, but the ones that have the, when you walk past, that you're not allowed to have the ones where the light comes on, because they were saying that it ruins the view of the stars or whatever in the neighborhood, and so you can't have like big floodlights or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? You're paying HOA. So what are you paying them for? To fine you for a bunch of bullshit? Like it doesn't.
Where does that money go? Like, what does it do? So if I had $100 fine a couple months ago for weeds, and,
right?
And I had a broken foot, so I hadn't maintained it like I normally do, and so I had $100 fine for weeds. Like I can control. Like I made those weeds grow there. Anyway, I digress. But it's like, okay, spent $100. Who gets that money? Where does it go? Like, what does it do? Is there like a charity it goes to? Is it like, because the HOA fees should, in theory, cover all of the expenses. So there should be nothing that's like, there should be no like overage if they're budgeting properly.
It's going towards the crack they're smoking.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they're growing something in the backyard. Right?
Yeah. I just can't.
Well, there's a lull in the Meat Sweats Menopause.
Ooh. It's a pause. It's a menopause.
Pause. We're not interrupting each other.
We're trying really hard. I don't know if we're managing it or not, but it is weird. It kind of interrupts the flow a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yep. So, and that's why D is in one. She doesn't like all the nonsense, right? So
D is building something insane for the free. Am I allowed to talk about this, D? What she's doing right now?
I think she probably got a vision after kissing one of those special frogs down there, and why? like Doc Brown in Back to the Future, when he slipped and fell and hit his head, he woke up and envisioned the flux capacitor. D maybe kissed one of those frogs, and then now has this special project that you're about to reveal.
Sonoran toads. Yeah, that's a good point. Toads. Yeah,
which you're not allowed to do anything. It's like, okay, it's an animal, it's in nature. Like how you interact with it has to be governed as well. So
right. Dan saying if you have a smartphone or a smart TV, you've accepted the surveillance state. Yeah,
absolutely. I
know. Yeah.
Everyone with an Echo or Alexa, all that stuff. It's basically just like, I mean, they've got RFID on that sticker on your license plate, your annual renewal sticker. They have electronics in that. I mean, every stoplight has surveillance, everything, it's everywhere. So the notion of being free is, I think our forefathers and ancestors would say, like, you guys think that's free, but I guess it could be worse. It could be worse, but it's not.
Well, I guess it just depends what you're trying to hide, doesn't it? When you think about 8 billion people, you just don't want to stand out too much and just stay under the radar and just keep doing what you're doing. I think it's only when you start rabble rousing and getting a little too much power or recognition, then it sets off the alerts, right?
But why is that the mindset? Why isn't the mindset that, like, I mean, the notion of our government is that it's not the government giving you the freedom. These are God-given rights.
Right.
And it's we the people that have a government that is held in check to protect those inalienable rights. And so it's like this whole idea, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't care if they do anything to me. Like, I get that because I'm not really doing anything wrong either. But why is that the thinking instead of like, why aren't we watching the government and what the politicians are doing? And why are they watching us, not the other way around? It just feels like it's backwards from what it was originally intended.
Oh, totally. I mean, it really is. But the thing is, like, what can you do? Like all these things that are happening, and we've talked about this before, but if the whole Epstein files bullshit, all that stuff, if it's really real, and it's not just like another agenda to distract everybody from everything. I mean, if that's real, and I mean, there's so many people that need to be taken down and prosecuted and jailed and killed and God knows what else. I mean, it's horrific. That behavior wouldn't be accepted normally by other people, like us versus them. I mean, it's just what are we gonna do? That's the thing. Everyone's like, oh, go out and voting does fuck all, does nothing.
Here's what you do.
Like, He's got the answer. Streets and just refuse.
He's got the answer to your question. What do you do? Here's the answer.
Lick a toad. Which is kind of where I'm at.
One of those special toads, not just any toad. Is everyone familiar with that? This is kind of a wild thing. Like, think of if this is in nature, how bad can it be? I'm asking. I guess you could say like, well, a rattlesnake bites you and you die of a poison or a cobra or something. it's in nature, how bad could it be? I guess that's one way to look at it. But here's a toad that if you lick it or kiss it or whatever, like you have like you could potentially have a transcendental like journey that is like this sort of like doing psilocybin or DMT or any of these other psychedelics that can give you insight into a whole another level of who you are, what creation is, God, etc. And it's like by licking a toad, like that seems like such a like,
or eating a mushroom or whatever, right?
or eating a mushroom, yeah.
Yeah, I mean what's really interesting actually about all of that. I've been doing a lot of I don't know. I'm intrigued by the abnormal. But people that have had near-death experiences, or people that have died for like 5 minutes or whatever, people that have like gone through that versus people that have done DMT, or people that have gone through like massive trauma or something and come through it. The thing that they all have in common is understanding that life is empty and meaningless. That's what we talk about, but it's like you just let go, and when you let go of all your beliefs and all of your ego and everything, that there's just peace. But it's the same, they're getting the same information. So people that have died and come back, or people that can like remote view or lucid dream, and people that can that lick the toads or do the DMT trips, all the same information. So you're obviously accessing something, right?
Well, all right. So to that point, what happens when we die? What is released in our brain when we die? DMT. So it happens whether you ever touch a drug in your life or a hallucinogenic in your life or not. It's gonna happen. So everyone's going to do, by that definition, a drug at some point in your life. Everyone's gonna do it. It's like, well, I'm against it. Well, too bad you don't have a choice. It's happening. It's coming for you. And so these near-death experiences, why would you wait to die before? Like, if you had a chance to sort of like, hey, maybe there's something to this. And I mean, I've watched documentaries about it, and I've seen all of the good that can come from like PTSD, like people have come back from combat and these things that the psychedelic and like mushrooms. I think most of that documentary we watched, that was mostly about psilocybin, but to some extent like DMT and
ketamine and psilocybin.
Ketamine, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think also they were talking about ayahuasca as well, and iboga. That was the other one they were talking about.
Okay, so yeah, it did have quite a few, didn't it? So, which, by the way, I think I paid a $100 or $200 to have lifetime access to this, because I was super curious about it, and I knew people would think, oh, all of the indoctrinated like people of Gen X that were like Nancy Reagan, people like me, like just say no. I was that person, and a friend told us about this documentary, and so I paid, and I'm like, I'm gonna have lifetime access, and so I got it, and then like I'm like, hey, I'm curious, I wanted to go back and look because somebody was asking me about it, and I'm like, oh, I've got this documentary. It's been erased. It's like, well, I guess it's not lifetime access because I guess the government didn't like it that this information was out there for people to. And it's to Dan's point right here: follow the money. If people are healing themselves with a journey or two on psilocybin, which is wildly inexpensive, if you heal a lot of that trauma, well, that erases a lot of pharmaceuticals, and it could erase like the what do you call it? The like psychiatrists and those types of folks.
Right. Yeah. The mental health. Yeah. No, absolutely. Because I was just who was I talking to about this?
Yeah, some of us prefer to practice our own future DMT trip. Right. Let's just get over. Let's do a trial run. It's the dress rehearsal.
Yeah, I was talking to. I won't say who it was. It was a friend who I saw recently, who was telling me that I don't know if it was someone they knew or someone who was really well known in the industry of like personal development and psychology and so on, but had done a lot of healing and like helps people heal, has all these programs that helps people through all these different things. and because they've gone through the experience themselves. I think they actually had a near-death experience and were then showing up people like what they did and how they got through things and how they managed to clear traumas and so on. Same kind of shit I've been doing, but they have the whole psychology board coming after them, trying to shut them down because they've become too big and too successful and they're not licensed practitioners. And it's like, what a load of fucking bullshit. It's like, if you are, let's say you're a fisherman and you have figured out a way to catch, the best fish, the most fish, and you're really, really successful. Do you have to go and be a certified, government board certified fisherman, or do you just share your information and go, this is what I do? You can do it if you want to, and you might not get the same results. I'm just sharing what I do and how it's worked for me and how it's transformed my life. It's like you can do it about anything you want, but the minute you start doing it about anything that's like health related, pharmaceuticals, or anything that's psychology related, I went through a death experience and this is what I realized and here's what I went through, or I've been through trauma, I managed to clear it, and this is how, these are the exercise, and then everybody wants to jump on it and just start canceling you, and that's what makes it crazy, right? And we saw all of that with COVID, with all the doctors that were speaking out and refusing to jump on the bandwagon and force injections and everything. They were the ones that were like, hang on a minute, can we have a discussion about this? There's something else here that's working, that we've seen working, and we got the data, it's peer reviewed, and they all got taken out, and that's it. And when you're on a hot
yeah, for sure. And that's and then people's pushback would be, well, if it's not good for you, how come there's no information out there where how come there's no doctors that are pushing back on this? And it could be the COVID stuff, or it could be a lot of things, like what is SIDS? Well, a lot of people feel it's this massive injection of all these different vaccines that kids get in a very short period of time, and it's overwhelmed and their bodies can't handle it. So there are those that believe that, and there are doctors that say that. And so do those voices get heard? No, they get silenced. And because and then they're told that they're crazy. So we're not and they might be. They might be, but that information should be available for people to sort of say, here's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we all pick and choose when that applies, right? So somebody might say psilocybin should be studied more mainstream, and it shouldn't be treated as a class 1 or whatever that's called drug, that it's highly illegal, especially when you see like native cultures that use it from a medicinal standpoint, like ayahuasca and all these things, and all the testimonials from people that are coming home, like military folks and veterans that are saying like, this changed my life. And, I know people personally that it's changed their life, and I don't think it's easy. You can't even explain it. So it's a thing that you can't know until you know. And how do you convey that to someone who's really stuck in their dogma? And that can be true about anything. And I think this is kind of what we've always made the show be about, is like, we don't really care what side of any fences people are on. We really encourage the conversation, and then people can learn from maybe what they don't know, and then they can share, and everyone kind of all boats rise. But when we shut down conversation and communication, then that's when this is my TED Talk, my public service announcement moment over. Like, I feel like I'm like the public airwaves now, but this is what I really want to, this is the favorite part about and I don't care if people disagree with me. I'm still going to I'm going to agree to disagree, but respect their voice and their right to speak and not shut people down, even if I've strongly disagree with them. So they're allowed to, like, I think the Chicago Cubs are the best team in baseball. It's not even a debate, but other people might feel differently, and I'm going to respect your view otherwise. Sorry, Robert. No, Dodgers, man, they might have a better record, but the Cubs are just better, buddy. Robert, talking to you.
But that's the thing. You can't make a decision on, think about anything you buy. Most of the time, you just don't go and buy one thing. Before you buy it, you do reviews, right? if you're going to get a new computer or a new car or whatever, you look around and look at the pros and cons, and it's the same thing. Like if you're going to take a stance on something, should I take that medicine or that injection or get that job or go work in this industry? But again, like society has raised us from birth to believe that everything that we need to survive is out there, and all the expertise that we need is out there. We can't possibly know anything in here. And so, knowing things in here is inherent. Like that's what gut feeling is understanding that when you get a hunch about something, it's because something doesn't feel right. It doesn't make sense. So it's not wrong to question anything. And I will fight till the death over, let people ask questions,
Is that because you want to experience DMT? Fight to the death?
We already have.
Experience DMT?
Haven't we?
No, we didn't do DMT.
That's what gets released. The DMT.
When we die.
What?
When people die, their brain releases DMT.
Yes.
But I'm really confused right now.
Okay, DMT is the hormone that is released when you do certain things and when you die. So
I think it's only when you die. I don't. It's
No,
adrenaline. It's not like an adrenaline thing, right? Like
no. So I don't know. I won't. There's someone on here that knows all about that. I won't call it out.
right. Meanwhile, let's go back to this. See, Robert, I respect your right to speak and your opinion, but I will just agree to disagree with you. Oh man! So Robert came over yesterday. He was helping me out with my car has some AC stuff going on, and Robert was helping me out. And the Dodger, I put the Dodger game on because the Cubs were over, and I was just sitting there like it was a beautiful night in LA, and the Dodgers were doing well, and so the crowd was just really into it. I'm like, man, it looks like so much fun. Like we really got to go. I really want to go to Dodger Stadium. So we were talking about that. So I will respect all of the history and all of the cool things going on with the Dodgers right now, but I just still gonna stick with my Cubbies, bro. So, and you stood on Wrigley, bro. So yeah, it's all cool. Yeah, DMT, I don't think. I think that's, but I don't know what I don't know. I've never taken DMT. I wouldn't, so I haven't. But have you heard of Chase? I think it's Chase Daniels.
No.
He's a guy who does a lot of it's not persuasion, but it's like human like cues, and it's kind of it's not exactly, but kind of a Tony Robbins kind of guy, a person who studies human kind of stuff.
Okay.
And so anyway, he did and it was normally like DMT's like minutes. It's like 5 minutes. It's a very quick journey, but you experience this like very explosive, expansive, like beyond like our 3D brain capabilities.
Right.
And he did like a 10-minute journey instead of like a 5-minute one, and he was like speaking with other entities, and there was all this crazy stuff. And he I'll have to find it. It was, I can speak more to this later, but
well, isn't it linked to the pineal gland? Because Katana's saying that too. Like, produce when we dream. And I'm pretty sure you can. It's a what you call it, like a hormone, right? That is released from the pineal gland. That's what I'm saying. I think you can get there like through meditation as well, and lucid dreaming, and when we're born and when we die, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it's crazy that why would then there's certain things like meth, right? Like you can just look at someone before they started taking meth, and then in a short period of time, you look at them and you go, "Man, this really isn't good for you." Like the meth is really ruining your life, and then their behavior, and then the fallout with relationships and jobs, and just kind of their whole human existence. So I think it's fair to certain drugs like meth. You should probably look to control that kind of stuff, depending on how much of a free society you want to be a part of. But when you look at stuff like DMT or psilocybin or even marijuana, look how crazy it was. Like, it's not been that long that marijuana has been legal. And so for younger people, like when we were in college and high school and coming up as young people, like marijuana was taboo. You were like Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, loser if you did it, and that's sort of a general society thing. And like now it's like widely accepted, no big deal. And it's like, why are these laws the laws, and why are things like even psilocybin? It happens. It's just a mushroom. It's not like even man-made or pharmaceutical. It's just, and
Right.
that's why, right? And so, and the benefits just wildly seem when people have an open mind and approach the science. And it's science. It's not even like just some stoner in the corner going, and, you know, it's scientists that study this stuff are saying like, no, the benefits are great and the side effects are almost nothing. And as long as you don't abuse it, like anything, you can abuse healthy things too. If all I ate was like 20 pounds of carrots every day, I'm sure there's probably something bad that could happen from that, you know?
Yellow.
Yeah, like, I'm going to look like an Oompa Loompa, you know?
It's so
Halloween,
true.
Halloween, I'm going to better get started on my Halloween outfit now. 20 pounds of carrots, here I come. Right?
But yeah, I mean, it's the ability to be able to disassociate and look at something, you know, see other dimensions and realms, and I totally relate to that, even like through the dream state. I don't know if I brought this up before. There's a guy, and you can look him up. You can find him on YouTube or Instagram.
Hey, you're not the boss of me.
Well, shut up. Okay. You
can look him up.
Not you, just y'all. I'll say it in American.
Yeah.
Y'all can look him up. But they did, so that you saw the thing. I think I sent it to you where he had the was it the laser beam or the infrared laser beam? Infrared. It was either infrared or a laser. And when he was on DMT and going through it, he had a laser pointed at the like along the wall. And when he went and looked into that laser beam ray or the infrared ray, whatever it was, he could see all, like, you know, like on the Matrix where you see all the numbers and everything running down.
Oh, wow, like the code?
The code, thank you. He could literally see code. And he was like, what the actual? And so he video recorded it and video recorded himself doing it. And then he decided to do a study on it. So now he's got hundreds of thousands of people that he's tried, and he hasn't told them what they're going to see. He's just said, like, you know, come here, take whatever it is that they're taking, and then sit there. And then he puts it up, and they go through, and they talk about what they've seen, and everyone is just blown away. They're like, this whole existence is code, and you can only see it when you are on DMT or whatever it is, and you can see through this laser beam. You can see what's going on. So it's really, really interesting to go look at that, because everybody's saying the same thing.
Yeah,
is saying the crazy part about DMT is people have reported very similar experiences from different parts of the world over centuries. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. And then a lot of people who have done things like psilocybin, DMT, and other psychedelics, they come back and they're like, I feel so much more connected to humanity. I don't have I'm an individual. Like, I mean, sure, there's individuality, but they feel as a part of something bigger than themselves, like that they're connected to humanity. So like the idea of war and these other things just completely go off the table in their thinking, because they're like, why would I hurt my fellow human because we're all connected? That would be like cutting my finger off. It's like, it doesn't make sense. And so I personally think this is why, again, just banging the drum of conspiracies, this is why they don't want people doing this stuff, because war is big business and it's control and it's fear and all these things. Like, if people just had, like, I hate to sound like a hippie from the 60s, but like if there was more of this like connectedness and the brotherhood, and like, hey man, when people aren't focused on fighting and fearing and hating each other, like, what could humanity actually go accomplish? Which I know sounds crazy and a little out there and a little woo, but what could we go accomplish if we weren't fighting each other? Like, we could.
Well, it would be a shame billions where we're actually doing great things. There'd be no one in control. It would actually be idyllic, which is what.
Yeah. If you weren't spending billions of dollars on bombs and blowing shit up, like, you could go put money into like expanding our capabilities. Like, it could be a totally different world. And and then let's just say it doesn't even go into the kumbaya world. Let's just start with like, hey, if you've just got better mental health and you're not walking around like on the brink of suicide, or if you're not hating yourself, that makes your relationships better. It makes your self-worth better. Like I think they should explore it and not they should take the barriers to entry off and say, all right, maybe things like DMT and ketamine and some of those, like, yeah, that should be done by medical supervision. But like, why is psilocybin
the thing
a
is,
Schedule 1 drug? That just seems so like unnecessary to me.
because the thing is when you have control over your emotions, you have sovereignty. So you can control your emotions and not get upset about things and let everything go and not be controlled by your own emotions. And guess what else you won't be controlled by? You're going to push back on the government, because then when you see that, you see that this is all bullshit. And
Here's
this
a
is
big
why
one.
people go
Religion.
live off grid. Well, that's why people go live off grid, because they just don't want to be told what to do. So, it's a spiritual awakening when you realize that you are it, or you are the vessel through whatever it is that's God, the universe, life force is experiencing through you, and you know that you can control that, and makes you a very, very powerful being. Nobody, you know that it's not even real. You can do whatever the hell you want to.
You are the wave. Like, you are God, small g, God, big G is the ocean, and you're the wave. Like, you're a part of it, right? So it's kind of the simple way to explain it. It's probably more complicated than that, but
Right. Yeah, Katana's saying DMT is like a multi-dimensional thing which enables you to see through the veil. Oh, you just took that off. I'm reading it.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were reading it from there. My bad.
That's in dimensions. That's why you can have dreams and then they happen later on in real life. I completely agree with that. And I think if you think about it too, when you are dreaming, you have no limitations, right? You can do amazing things. You can fly. You can, but you could, it's you, but you're actually a cat or whatever. It's things you can do. You're not afraid of anything, or maybe you are afraid if you're having a nightmare. But like, you can literally do anything, and you think it's normal until you wake up and explain your dream to someone, like I often do with you. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about, woman?
Little off topic here, but one of my most memorable dreams was that I was on the Arsenio Hall show. You guys remember that show? Woo, woo, woo. Anyway, I digress. We were having a great chat, and then I just derailed it. So back to you.
It's anything less.
This would be interesting, Dan, and I would love this to happen. Like, some like ballsy enough politician to just say, hey, what's this whole fuss about? Let's go find this out on our own. Go do the journey, and then be like the world's biggest advocate for what it can do in beneficial, almost ceremonial ways. It doesn't have to be recreational. It can just be like, okay, let's approach this from a certain point of view, and that would be an interesting experience.
Well, I think they're all programmed anyway. They're not going to go and do anything. They'll probably just get taken out because again, they can't have their level of freedom either. The higher you go in politics, the more controlled you are, because no one can have that amount of control or power, right? So,
sure. I mean, unless they, it's like there's got to be forces to support it, right? But I was referencing. Sorry. You just okay. You just did what? No, you took off what I was gonna. Anyway, carry on.
It's coming back. There you go. Go for it.
Yeah. Wait for it. Okay, so he was referencing his first non-voluntary. Okay, gotcha. All right, fine. I understand now. Yeah. Does this trigger deja vu? And where were we? Where was the other one you were just looking at, Pam? Kind of all over the place.
Does that trigger deja vu? That's all. It was just
okay.
Are you talking to the whole DMT thing, Robert?
Yeah, I think so, because it was referencing like dreams and kind of these like supernatural experiences. Deja vu. That is. Now, in the movie The Matrix, deja vu is when they reprogram the Matrix, so it's like a glitch in the Matrix.
But it is. I think I can't think of. I mean, when you say that, everybody knows what deja vu feels like. So everyone has experienced it, right? And so it is weird, because I've had it to the point where I literally know, like, you get the feeling, don't you? You're just like, I feel like I've been here before, and you're in your head, you're thinking, did I dream this? Like, was this? Like, that's kind of what goes on in your head, I think. But then I'm like, I know what someone's going to say, or I know what someone's about to do, because it hasn't happened yet. And you're just like, did I just, if you get out of the idea that time is linear and that everything's happening at the same time, in different dimensions, it's like slices, and you're just jumping through these different timelines, then it can make sense. Maybe it's actually happening now in these different versions of you, because your timeline's changing, isn't it? Every single moment, every millisecond, every split decision that you make. I could look over there and I see out of that window, and then I look over here and I see that view. And then based on what I'm seeing is how I'm going to respond. So you can't predict what I'm going to do. It's all going to depend on how I respond. And so it's just like happening like trillions of times in a day, to everybody, all simultaneously. So when you really start to think on that quantum level, it really starts blowing up your brain. You're like,
holy and God. you might be shifting dimensions into a different, like it might be a different you, like the other you in a different dimension or right. Whatever might have already experienced that, and then you might just be bleeding over into that, whatever you call it, timeline, and then it's like that's your deja vu, because even though you personally maybe haven't experienced it, it might be you in an adjacent and I'm not, this is just completely conjecture, I have no idea, but I know for a fact, how I just don't say that very often, I know for a fact, because
well, your experience.
You what?
Your experience. For a fact that Rollo's going to start barking at 10 to 6 and hunting for food. I mean, that's just...
That's true. Yeah. Don't tell me dogs don't feel time, because Rollo knows every night when dinner time is. Almost within like almost exact time. It's crazy.
And she can do it with the time difference too, because she starts doing it a lot earlier.
She knows. Yeah. That's wild. Yeah, I know, it's interesting. It's interesting to think about for sure.
Right.
And I love that and it's crazy that that it's gaining more. I don't know, maybe if it's just because I'm more curious about it, or if it just sort of at a society level that people are looking into things like psychedelics and considering all these sort of like bigger thinking kind of concepts, rather than just believing everything's just religion and like Zeus on Mount Olympus, and I don't want to poke any fun in any contemporary religions, because whatever people's faith is, like that's your choice, and I respect whatever you believe. But if I were to sit here and say I believe in Zeus on Mount Olympus, like how serious would people take me? You know what I mean? Like, so how come we can't question religion? So
I mean, you got to question everything. I mean, just think about it. When you're a child and you're growing up, before you're with the people that raise you, whether they're your parents, family, whoever raises you, it's not until you break out of that and go to school or go to a friend's house that you start to realize, like, well, hang on a minute, not everybody, like, why don't people eat at the same time? Why don't some people take their shoes off in the house and some don't? Some people have animals and some don't. Some people sit at the table for dinner and some don't. Like, everything is different, and it's then that you start to realize, like, you start to question everything. Like, well, why is everything so military at school, but not at home? And then and that just gets bigger and bigger. You turn into a teenager, and now you're driving and you're going out and you're working and you're meeting friends, and you start realizing that everything there is not like it is here. So. Right. You have to break out of that. You think you know everything at school, and then university, and like, wow, your brain expands even more. But you come out of university thinking you know it all, and somebody has
so like sort of in your town, at your immediate, sort of from your home, like what you know up until a certain age, because you're not really out, other than maybe going to grandma's house or something. Like, you're really pretty much in your home. Then you go to school, then you start making friends. And in your town, you start going over to your friend's house, and they eat it at a certain time, and so on and so forth. But then you talked about going away to college or university, like that expands your mind a little bit more. But my argument would be, like, when you travel the world and you really really expand out and you start really experiencing different things, that's where someone can really have those sort of transcendental epiphanies of like, holy cow, I didn't realize this was an opportunity. But let's go back. I'll fall on the sword. We've got a few minutes here. I want to make sure that I address this. The wheels are coming off. Yeah, Dan was dabbling with some psilocybin, and I was like, Gen X, Nancy Reagan, just say no. Like, I hadn't really, and maybe it had a. Because I was a big nerd in high school and college, and didn't I didn't drink in high school. Didn't start drinking until the end of college, and I think I tried sort of smoking marijuana once, but it was like not even really smoking it. It involved a aluminum can kind of dented, and there was really no marijuana coming through. And so, anyway, I digress. That's setting the stage for the level of like, my commitment to the Nancy Reagan brainwashing. So Dan was dabbling around with the mushrooms, and I was like, "Man, what are you doing, man?" I was worried for him. It was like,
you thought it was a heroin addict, basically.
I hope you're okay, bro. But turns out, I will share that I have dabbled with mushrooms myself, psilocybin. It wasn't in this country, and I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations have expired. So where I was, it was legal, and it was years and years ago. But it was crazy, and it was one of the most profound moments I've personally ever had. Like inside of my own brain, like it was like more than any meditation I've ever done, more than any church service I've ever sat through. Like it was life changing, and so there is good. And Dan, I will admit that I was wrong, and I hope that this is more mainstream, kind of like how marijuana has come into the public domain in a way that it's not negative. I hope psilocybin at least does as well when done, in my opinion, responsibly. Now he's kicking. No, that was just sloppy joes. No, I'm not into that. It's $20 is $20. Yeah, no, nothing like that. But just I do think it's interesting, and just keeping an open mind. So
yeah.
It wasn't inside my brain. I don't know. And maybe it was the antenna up into the ether, or into this what do you call it, the Akashic records or something. I don't know what it was, but it was powerful and life changing.
Well, again, I mean, you have just simple questions. I think is I mean, I talk about this shit for like hours all day, or I think I'm secretly a philosopher. I just wish I could get paid for doing just thinking all day and asking stupid questions. But it's like
people will read your material 200 years from now. But
right. Actually, yeah. Instead of getting ridiculed, I actually think I make sense. I'll be like you, Dan. I'm always 10 years ahead of my time. So one day I will capitalize on that. So hasn't happened yet though. But yeah, I mean, like just very, very simply, you can look at like the laws of copyright, and so it's like if we're hit, it's like Australia's on the other side of the world to us, right? So it's like you go to enter a copyright for something, or at the patent office, and realize you think it's an idea that you had, it came in a dream or whatever, or you came up with an idea, and you go to patent it, and somebody's already done it in Australia. Well, how could they possibly have known? It's like, well, it was a song, or it was a product, or it was something I created. Somebody else has done exactly the same thing. And then you start looking back in history and thinking about different historical events and pyramids that appear all over the world. Like if they couldn't travel then, how would they possibly know how that was and how those things were created and so on? So you really have to like just open up and realize that, there is a whole other, when you can tap into the energy that's around and the different layers of that, like other people can tap into those same energies. Like we are connected by something.
Right.
And whether it's the ether is what it is, and that's what's creating our energy. And I mean, fuck, I can talk about this forever. I'm probably boring everybody to sleep.
Next week on Meat Bets and Menopause.
It's super, super fascinating to just sit there and go, no, all of that is bad and nothing exists and everything is just how you were told at school or in books or by professionals. It's just bullshit, and it blows my mind when people take that stance. It's like,
and that's the bottom line, right? Like, how powerful are we as humans? And that's kind of what I was speaking about a little earlier, is that when you have these experiences, you start realizing that there's that what you really focus on and stress about, and the things that upset you, that it just sort of becomes less important. The noise, the RPMs, the hamster on the wheel, it just sort of goes, and you start thinking bigger and realizing that you're bigger than you realize you are, and we are bigger than we realize we are, and it's pretty cool.
was just letting go. That's it. I mean, in a nutshell, like meaning of life, or how do you just let go? You let go of the attachment, what you're attached to, because what you're attached to is all the billions of stories you have in your head about everything. You're attached to what things mean. That's why you get upset. It's why you have expectations and get mad when things fall through. And it's like, again, I'll always go to the monk that's, they can levitate and they sit on the top of the fucking mountain. They give up all their worldly possessions and they take a vow of silence, because they're trying to just take away all their distractions. Because when you take away the noise, you take away the people, you take away the influences and all the physical things, what are you left with? You're left with your mind. And if you can't control your mind and your thoughts, then you can't control your emotions, which turn into your actions, which then create reactions in other people who are now reacting to what you've done and putting that into their story and going around and around. I mean, it's humanity. It's a human thing to do. But the hardest thing is to learn to master your emotions. And when you have a society that is focused on controlling your emotions to therefore control your actions, that's what they do. They get in your head from an early thing. So
but they can't control you if you learn to not let them. You ultimately have the power. And I think to your point about the monks and all the things they do and all that, it's really about when you're talking about kind of getting that more transcendental, like really what you're doing is you're eliminating the ego.
Yeah.
And you're going up into the higher self. And so when you eliminate the ego and all the things that go with that, which is a survival thing, right? And it's a 3D on this plane thing.
But that's what they have in common, is the people that have had the near-death experiences, because they've had an ego death. And it's right. So that whole release of DMT, like when you have a dream, you don't have an ego in your dream. You're not afraid to say shit and you don't have any fear. You just do things. And so it's the same, like when people that I've spoken to that have had those, they've been dead for 5 minutes or whatever it is. And, and they were brought back to life. They realize the peace that they felt from letting go. It was like an ego death. They didn't have to worry about anything anymore. It was like, it's just gone, and they can't feel that peace anymore. They come back to life, and it's terrifying, which is the same as babies being born, which ties in with the whole, when you're born, you release DMT. When you die, you release DMT. And then when you go into high meditative states, and when you go into certain mind-altering states through drugs, DMT again, or through meditation, it's ultimately the act of letting go. And when you let go of your ego, as you just said, you feel free. But the control mechanism is to control your ego, to make you think that you have to go through steps and believe in other things in order to take you away from that. Because the minute you let go of your ego, you're free. So anyway.
Yeah, I think just all disclaimers here about tonight's episode. I think we should I'm not saying like some 8-year-old kid should go out and do this stuff. I think you should be, you should be old enough, over 18, over 21, whatever that line of demarcation is, and you should really think long and hard about it. And make sure you, in my opinion, approach it from a serious standpoint. Because from my experience, this is going to sound crazy, but the mushrooms want to help us. And so if you're just going there to fuck around and feel funny feels and see special colors, that's not really them ultimately fulfilling their purpose and us getting the most benefit from it. So, but yeah, I think this is an interesting concept. We should do an episode on psilocybin.
Let's do it.
What would be more interesting is Dan moderating. How does that look, Dan?
I can already see the visuals for the show. But yeah, no, we
you haven't had enough. We need more. That would be wild. Yeah.
Yeah, we totally should, because I think it's really, really interesting. So maybe we do that.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll have to do it in an undisclosed.
6.
Yeah, we'll have to do it in an undisclosed location in an island off the coast of wherever, right? So
we didn't say we're doing mushrooms. We just said we would talk about it. Or maybe.
Well, what he said here in his comment is you should do an episode on shrooms. I'm taking that to mean we've actually consumed them, and that we are in the fucking journey, and that he's going to moderate it. I don't know how you took it, but I'm pretty sure I can speak for him.
That's what he meant. Episode on them, talk about it, like
a show and tell, right? Like this is yeah. Anyway, I digress. Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, cool. What a cool. It is kind of wild how some of these episodes just sort of take on a life of their own. We had no idea what we were going to talk about tonight. We're like, shit, I was doing laundry right before I came on because I'm leaving out of town for a couple of days. And so here we are. But thank you, everyone, for participating, contributing, and being a part of our silliness and nonsense and our entertainment purposes only episode of Meat, Sweats, and Menopause. We're just throwing ideas out there, and none of this is meant to endorse, condone, or inspire those in any way. Any other disclaimers you can think of, babe?
We're just stupid and don't know anything, and so there we go.
Yeah,
we just ramble, and you're just privy to our rambling. So
thank you for listening to us ramble. Hence another episode of Meat, Sweats, and Menopause. Successful, mission accomplished, because that's what we do. So thanks to everyone. Look forward to seeing you next week. And if you got any ideas or want to be on the show, let us know. Like and share, and we'll see you next week on Meat, Sweats, and Menopause.
Thanks, guys. See you later.